Welcome back to the Wrasslin City Podcast. As always, I'm Taylor,
And I'm Ryler.
and we are officially 7 days away from
Oh,
WrestleMania. Just 7 days away until me and you are under the same roof, getting ready to watch the Showcase of Immortals for the second year in a row.
I can't believe it's already almost time for this. I mean, we have been planning this. Geez, I don't know how long. I mean, at this point, probably since like Survivor Series or maybe the Rumble. And
Man,
it
I feel like
felt
we've been
like it was so
planning.
far away. Yeah.
I
And
feel
now
like we've
it's
been
already
planning
here.
this since like last year's WrestleMania. We were like,
Yeah.
bro, we got to get together for next year's WrestleMania.
Yeah, well, and last year's I didn't really know where we were, what our housing situation was going to be. So now that I've
Hmm.
moved into here, now I at least know, we can get together, chill over here, and watch it in person. And this is a great WrestleMania to be watching
Yeah,
in person, be able to watch it live. I got off my days at work, so I don't have to
yeah, me
worry
too.
about
Yeah,
I'm going to get all my schoolwork done in advance so I can sit and watch both of these nights. One nice thing they announced a few days ago is that it's going to be starting at, is it 6 o'clock, right?
yeah,
Instead of
six
7.
o'clock for us. Yeah,
So it's going to be an hour earlier, but the shows are going to be still pretty long with each night. I think what was it, 5 hours, I want to say? Maybe four?
yeah. I think they're gonna do something like I think so on Peacock. It already says the show is 6 hours, but I usually take off an hour for the pre-show. So I would assume like each main show is gonna be 5 hours. So that's 10 hours in total over the weekend for WrestleMania.
Yeah, that's a lot of wrestling. We're gonna be a little wrestled out by the end of that time
Yeah,
period.
yeah, no
But
kidding.
then right after it's gonna be Raw after WrestleMania, and hopefully it's not gonna be like last year's. I mean, if you
Hopefully it's not gonna
remember,
be for like the last, I feel like the last two or three Raw. Well,
yeah, I don't
yeah, the
remember what
last
happened in
two, because
2022,
the
but I
last,
remember last year's with Brock beating up Cody in that tag match. Hopefully it's
hmm,
not going to be like that, but we got to get through WrestleMania first.
yeah.
Hopefully it lives up to its hype, but there's some great potential for this to be, I don't want to say the greatest WrestleMania of all time, but definitely in the top, like, hell, if it's booked good enough, if it's booked right, it could be in the top
Mm,
3, honestly.
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
pretty
no,
confident in that too. Yeah.
yeah, I am too. I mean, and we've been saying this for like weeks now that this has the potential to be one of, if not the greatest WrestleManias of all time, if it's booked correctly, which I think it will. You know, you got Triple H in charge, so
Yes, and if it's any, I mean, we can just go ahead and start out when it comes to this week. So we don't have it wasn't Raw was a very good show, but SmackDown wasn't as good, so we don't have as much to cover.
which
But
is weird to say because usually it's SmackDown that's
usually it's the
usually,
opposite, yeah.
yeah.
Which is surprising. You would think with a 3-hour show there would be more to talk about, but usually it's not like that. But
Hmm.
if this episode of Raw was any indicator of how WrestleMania is going to be, then we are in for a
Oh,
treat because
yes,
this
dude.
for Raw is one of the best Raws we have ever seen before.
Yeah, in
And
years. I mean, it's not even
yeah,
close.
I know I saw a lot of people on the internet saying this was like one of the best Raws, like the best Raw ever. I don't know about all that, but
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
still, it felt like so at first when I was watching this, I didn't really feel like it stood out that much. But then once I actually looked at each individual segment that happened throughout this night, it really felt like I guess it was probably because of the setup of the crowd, like they made it more like it was like Survivor Series, where they had to
Yeah.
make the flooring different and the stage and ramp different because of how many people were in attendance. And it gave it like a pay-per-view feel. With all the stuff that was happening, it felt like this Raw could have been a pay-per-view or PLE. Um,
As it
yeah,
played out, it felt
yeah.
like one.
Yes, it did. There was a
Yeah.
lot that went on Raw, and a lot of yeah, they were just breaking boundaries when it comes to. I feel like we've been saying that for a while, so I try not to like say that too much, but it feels like this week there was a lot of edgier segments. They were
Oh
really
yeah,
trying
yeah,
to
for
push
sure.
the
Hmm.
boundaries of the PG brand, the PG label. I feel like they were really going all out with that this week.
Yeah, and like all this like edgy stuff makes me think of like maybe they're gearing up for their Netflix deal coming up in 2025, and
Yeah,
maybe they won't be so much PG when they get there, but I don't know, dude.
yeah. Yeah,
It's
there was some crazy stuff that happened. So first we can just start off when it comes to what was it? So Cody Rhodes kicked off Raw.
Yeah, he kicked off Raw Monday
And I mean, I
night.
guess you can because you watch I came home during like halfway through this segment, but yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, Cody Rhodes kicked off Raw. He gave his pretty much gave like a generic like babyface promo. He obviously started off with the so what do you want to talk about? And then he talks about how Roman called him a politician and says that he's a liar and never keeps his promises. And then he starts talking about how, he's keeping his promise of he said he's going to be a best man at somebody's wedding here soon, and he said he's going to a 5-year-old's birthday party, and he pretty much says he does this because he wants to pretend to be a champion because our champion is never there. So, and then he
Yeah.
says, and then he says that he respects Roman. He feels like Roman respects him too, but then he says that he really hates Roman Reigns' guts, which he said quite a bit in this run, so nothing new there.
Yeah, that didn't really cover very much, but
Yeah.
after that was when
Oh
all the
yeah.
stuff went, off the rails.
Yeah, yeah, which we're about to get into. So then he does what most baby faces do. He wants to have the entire arena point at the WrestleMania sign with him, which I will admit it was a pretty cool visual on the
I thought it was
TV.
so corny.
I
Yeah, I mean,
mean,
I
it
get it though.
was, but I mean, it was a yeah. I mean, he's a top baby
He's a
face in
baby
the
face.
company.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, it
so
makes
he
sense.
he has to
But
do all these kind of things. So he has the whole crowd point at the WrestleMania sign with him. Then he talks about how he's getting ready to take on the final boss and Roman Reigns. And as soon as he said that, if you smell out of nowhere, The Rock just shows up like he wasn't even advertised. And when that music hit, I was like, "Oh shit, here we go."
yeah, it really, when it comes to these segments, it's almost on one hand kind of sad because after WrestleMania, all this stuff like Rock has been responsible for like the huge, I mean, it was popular in 2023. Obviously, it had the huge resurgence in 2023, but Rock has taken it to a whole nother level. And after WrestleMania, it's gonna be weird not having these type of because as soon as the Rock's music hits, there's a huge pop, no matter if it's announced or whatnot. And yeah, that when he came out, the whole crowd went crazy.
Yeah, they went crazy as always. And then, when he gets out there, they start booing him. They do the whole Rocky sucks. And then, so Rock comes out, he gets in the ring, and then him and Cody just kind of just stand there for like 5 minutes. They don't say a word to each other. They're just standing there looking at each other. And then Rock just kind of slowly walks up to Cody. He leans in and he whispers something to him. And then obviously, with the look on Cody's face, it had to be something that, Cody was like, "What? Okay," you know. And man, I really enjoyed that because it got so many people talking right as soon as that ended. I went on social media and everybody's like, "What did The Rock whisper to Cody? What
Yeah.
was it? What was it?"
People got into like detective mode for those few
Yeah, I
hours.
know. Yeah, I was one of them. I went on Twitter and was like, "What the hell did he just whisper to Cody?" And somebody commented under my post and was like, "He whispered that he's going to help Cody at WrestleMania." But obviously, we found out later on that that's not what he whispered
Yeah.
to him. He actually ended up whispering to him. he said tonight I'm gonna make you bleed, but that wasn't confirmed until like days. I think like the day after is when
Uh-huh.
that was confirmed. Because right after that, they went backstage and they had a quick little interview with The Rock, and one of the interviewers asked him, "So, everybody wants to know, like, what did you whisper to The Rock?" And he just says, "Why don't you go ask Cody?" So then
Yeah.
later on in the show, the same reporter goes and asks Cody, "Cody, everybody, the whole world wants to know, what did The Rock say to you?" And then Cody just says, "I'll just say that it's a promise that he can't keep."
Yeah, they're doing good at he like yeah, it's great that they left it open for speculation. It really
Hmm.
got people talking. And I guess we can just when it comes to I mean, we'll just cover all of this like so basically so later the main event was Jey Uso versus Shinsuke Nakamura. I guess they're just doing a typical we literally called what was going to happen before it happened. What was
Yeah,
it?
because
Jimmy and
the match
Solo.
ended with
Yeah.
with like 10 minutes left in the show. So we were talking, we were like, yeah, dude, something's got to happen.
We knew that it was going to end up being that, you know, so Jey Uso ended up, it was Jey Uso defeated Shinsuke Nakamura. Some stuff happened with, what was it? Yeah, Jay and Solo ended up appearing.
Jimmy and
Uh,
Solo.
yeah, yeah, and they ended up basically just kind of building to their match at WrestleMania. It was whatever. It was kind of an underwhelming main event, but we figured, yeah, like you said, since there was 10 minutes, we knew that something else was going to happen. And building off of what we were just talking about in the opener, uh, Cody, what was it? He was just backstage. I forgot if he was like talking to somebody or
No, Jimmy and Solo ran down there. They were going to go attack Jay, and then
yeah, that's what it
Cody
was.
and
Yeah.
Rollins came in and made the save, and then Drew came out, and instead of going after any of the Bloodline members, he went straight towards Seth. He hit a Future Shock DDT outside on the padding floor, and then Solo and Cody take their brawl backstage. Cody's beating on him. He's getting the upper hand, and then out of nowhere, The Rock shows up, and he just starts beating the living hell out of Cody. And
Yeah.
I mean, the whole time he's like, "Look at you now, boy! Look at you now, boy! Yeah, look at you now! You wanted this, you wanted this. Look at you now!" Just saying that like over and over again. He actually pulled some WWE 2K24 stuff out and threw trash cans at Cody.
Yes, and one crazy thing about that is that so even though WWE is pushing the boundaries of the PG product, at least as we've known it, they are still making attempts to like so The Rock is obviously the one that's pushing these boundaries the most. He was cussing, he dropped multiple F-bombs during this promo or this
Hmm.
segment. And he when he hit these he threw the garbage can at Cody Rhodes I think two times
Yeah.
and each one hit him like right in the head so it was a headshot. So on the WWE like their official YouTube channel when they were covering this they actually edited out the garbage can shots. So they're still I guess doing their they can't officially show that. I guess it's the same thing like when they do the blade jobs, or not blade
Hmm.
jobs, but if somebody gets cut open, they make it like gray or
Yeah,
whatever it
black and
is.
white. They had that
Yes,
black and
yes,
white
black and
filter,
white.
and they
Yep.
didn't do that for this one, did they?
I don't remember for the actual like when he was cut open. Now, one thing I'm still wondering though is that so wait, well, first backtracking a little bit. So Rock was just completely beating him up. He was whooping him, and
Yeah.
Cody got no offense in. I don't even think he
Yeah.
got a single punch in on
Yeah, no, he
Rock during
didn't.
this,
He was just taking a
and
beating.
he was completely just whooping his ass. And Cody, it showed Cody, and he was busted open. He was cut open pretty hard, and I I'm not sure if it was a blade job or if it was like fake blood. I saw a lot of people saying different things online.
Yeah, I did too. And honestly, I mean, to me, it looked like it was a blade job, but you
Well,
know,
when I was watching it, I was like, it's definitely fake. It didn't look real. But
because
now that I've seen more people
if you
saying that
know,
online, I'm like, I don't know. Honestly, it could have just been a blade job.
yeah, because if you notice, because I know during that segment, they, after, they're outside in the pouring rain, which that right there made that
Added
segment,
to it.
yeah, it
Yes.
really added to it. And he's beating him up and everything. It's like he throws him into the bus, and then they just take the camera right to the Rock, and then he starts cussing some more, like whatever, yelling at the camera, and then they pan back over to Cody, and then that's when he's bleeding on his forehead. So obviously that makes me think that he, pulled a little blade out and was like, let me
Yeah,
get some
and it's
blood.
so crazy because you would think that in the past, whenever there's been some sort of, like a wrestler ended up bleeding during a match or a segment or whatever, they usually do these edits to kind of hide it as much as possible, and
Hmm.
even do these shots where they take the focus off the wrestler, and if they're in a match, they'll give them like a cloth or something to clean it up so they're not busted open towards the end of it. But in this, that was like the focal point of this
Yeah,
segment.
dude. I mean, that
So
camera was
yeah,
right
Rhodes
in
was
on Cody's
busted
face,
open. Rock kept on, just he was stomping on him, whooping on him on the floor still.
spitting
And
on him, and
and then he took his belt and like he said he was going to do in that in the segment on Raw and then the or it was Raw.
rock
And
concert.
yes, and then also that Instagram video, he
Hmm.
took Cody Rhodes's blood and he wiped it on the weight belt so he could give to Mama Rhodes or whatever it is. And it's really crazy how much WWE has changed when it comes to their and it's so crazy. I saw somebody use the analogy that basically what is it? So people were saying obviously anything that one wrestling company does, the other people are gonna be like, oh well, why can't WWE do this? But then when AEW does it, blah blah blah. But all I will say, the perfect analogy to sum this up is steak is great, but steak every day is not great.
Hmm.
So when they did this, they haven't done this since what WrestleMania was it 30, 35, whatever Reigns and Lesnar in 2018 was, and
34. Yeah.
34. Okay, and they kind of made that the one of the big parts of that match, but I don't remember any other segment since then where they've made the wrestler being busted open the focal point of that segment or match. So
Well,
it
they did
made it
that for
that much
Becky
more
Lynch
important.
when she got her nose busted open by Nia Jax.
Yes, but that was unintentional. That
I
was
mean,
this
yeah,
they intended for Rhodes to get busted open
yeah,
and
yeah.
they
True,
made
true.
this
Yeah.
the actual so on the script it said Rhodes gets busted open and Rock wipes the blood on the weight belt. And that I think last time that's happened was when Reigns got busted open and they zoomed in on his face all bloodied up and whatnot.
Oh, yeah,
Um
yeah,
yeah, it was a very good closing. That's the best closing to Raw we've seen in years.
yeah, for sure. I mean, I mean, as soon as it went off the air, I was like, what the
Yeah.
fuck did we just see, dude? Like, oh my goodness. And I want to mention one thing during while they were outside, the trucks, the production trucks that were outside, they had they had like WrestleMania prints all over them, and they had two people on one of those trucks. John Cena and Stone Cold Steve Austin. Is that a coincidence, or is that just
At first I
foreshadowing?
thought it was, but the way they did it, they made it like the only truck that was in. they did it in a way with the other trucks too being advertisements. One of them was like for a vodka sponsorship or whatever.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
way they did
on
it,
Cody's bus.
yeah, the way they did it was so intentional that like
Yeah.
it had to have been they had to have done it on purpose, I think. But at the same time, I kind of hope that it doesn't allude to the WrestleMania ending with like Cena and Cena would make sense, I guess, because it would make sense for the story to culminate with Reigns' title loss with being all of his past opponents coming out and like getting their revenge, and it ends in this crazy thing where it's a bloodline rules match. They beat up all the bloodline, and then John Cena comes out and beats him up. Maybe Jey Uso gets a shot in, but Stone Cold, that wouldn't make any sense. So I hope it's
Well,
not just
I
a
feel like Stone Cold just from the history that they have that he has with The Rock because WrestleMania 40 is actually going to be is it the 25-year anniversary? The
which
25
I think is a I mean I guess didn't they say it happened in Philadelphia though?
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay, if it happened there that makes
him and
sense.
it was
Yeah.
him, yeah, Stone Cold and The Rock at what
hmm
WrestleMania 15 is like
WrestleMania
25.
15, yeah, was the first one.
Mm-hmm. So,
Yeah, I mean, I guess. Yeah, I just feel it's going to depend on how they actually implement it because I feel like on paper that has the potential to come off as just corny. I guess if it's all them come out and
yeah.
beat them up, it's like all the
Yeah,
superheroes.
I
It's
kind of want to wait and like talk about this more like when we do our predictions.
definitely, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay,
because
well, this segment, well, yeah,
I'm kind of like mixed on if I want like all of them to help Cody. I mean, it makes sense, but I mean, we'll get to
yeah,
that
we'll
next
definitely
week in
cover
the
that. Yeah.
predictions. So,
So that was basically the main focal point of Raw, but then also another fantastic, I mean, speaking of fantastic
yes,
segments, promos, there was another great one with CM Punk, Drew McIntyre, and Seth Rollins. Yeah, it
dude.
was pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, part of me thinks that like this was just, they didn't have no script. They just told these three guys to, go out here and just, do whatever you want. I mean, that's what it felt like because during this promo, all three of them, because you know how like most promos they have like ebbs and flows. They'll one person will say the other one thing, and then another person will say one thing. But in this promo, all three of them are just cutting each other off like the entire time. It's like an argument. It's like just three grown men
Yeah.
just having a heated argument, and that it really added to this promo. So CM Punk starts off. He says that he's happy to be back in Chicago. He starts mentioning a few names. He mentions Roman Reigns' name and says that, hopefully, that they'll have something later on and down the road. He mentions The Rock. He says that, The Rock hasn't said anything about me. Maybe he remembers that his arms are just too short to box with God, giving a little throwback to his promo with The Rock back in
2013.
2013, yeah, ahead of their championship match at Royal Rumble. And then he mentions Drew McIntyre. And then he says that Drew McIntyre just can't keep my name out of his mouth. And then as soon as he said that, Drew's music hits, and I remember CM Punk just goes, let's go, he's finally coming out here." His Drew's music hits, and it plays for like 5 seconds, and then CM Punk just says, "Turn that stupid song off. Turn it off right now." And then he's just like begging Drew to just come down to the ring and fight him. He says, "Get your bitch ass in here and fight me right now." And then Drew's like, "Nah, I'm good. I don't want to do that." And then he just starts walking down towards the commentary table. He shows CM Punk his shirt. It's got like injure. He's got like a checklist on the back of his shirt, and it's like injure CM Punk and all this other stuff. And then CM Punk says, "I've never had to put another man's name on a T-shirt just to sell it." And Drew was like, okay, all right, that's cool, that's cool. And then he takes off his shirt and he's got another shirt. It's that meme. It's like that guy leaning like squatting down in front of a tombstone and doing this. It's got like
Hmm.
CM Punk's name on the tombstone. And he does that because obviously he knows, CM Punk can't use that same joke back to back. And I like how as he's taking that shirt off, it took me quite a bit because I got such a big biceps, something that you can't, relate to because obviously we know CM Punk hasn't had the body physique of Drew. I mean, Drew's just
Yeah.
an absolute unit. Oh
Yeah,
man,
they were
dude.
just sending shots at each other this entire promo.
Hmm.
And it was obviously with them being in Chicago, they were behind Punk during this entire segment. It sucks because with how different things could have been if Punk didn't get injured. Like this, they're doing the best with what they can have. And during this segment, it was also confirmed that CM Punk would, I think it was commentate this match at
Hmm.
WrestleMania,
Yeah.
which him Punk on commentary is always, always gold. So that's gonna be nice.
Yeah, it is. And I like how seeing Drew McIntyre, he gets up on the announce table and he kind of does how CM Punk does. He sits on the announce table and he does like he crosses his legs. He talks about how he's the chosen one, and then CM Punk says, "Oh, really? Who chose you? Which which paragon
Yeah,
of good fortune chose you? Say it." It's like he's like begging Drew to say, Vince McMahon's name on live WWE television, which I heard that they can't do, which I mean makes
yeah, of
sense.
course. Yeah,
And I just wonder what Drew's just thinking. He's like, okay, yeah, yeah, you got me there.
yeah. I mean, it's what it's been the past few weeks. They're just coming out sending shots at each other constantly. But like I said, with this crowd, it was a whole nother level. It really did. I said it earlier, but this segment, especially with this crowd, made it feel like a something you would see on a premium live event.
Oh yeah, for sure. So then after all that happens, Seth Rollins' music hits and CM Punk starts like he's just like, God almighty, not this guy now. And Seth Rollins comes out. I can't remember exactly what he all said. I will admit that his part of this promo was the weakest of the three, in my opinion. I feel like Drew and CM Punk really carried this promo. So Rollins just talking about, like what are you going to do at Mania? You obviously can't referee because you got a bad arm, and then CM Punk just decides to, get down on the mat and he starts doing the 3 count with his left arm, and obviously he says that he can do that, and yeah, pretty much he just says he's going to commentate for their World Heavyweight Championship match at WrestleMania.
Yeah, I mean, it was, yeah, like I said, crazy. A lot. I mean, they've been doing this for the past few weeks, but this one, yeah, really just felt special.
Yeah. Yeah, it did. And then CM Punk pretty much says that he'll commentate for the match. He starts walking off, and then Drew decides to walk in the ring now, and he just starts, yapping on more at CM Punk. And then Seth Rollins just got tired of hearing Drew, so he super kicks Drew, and then he hits him with a curb stomp. And for weeks now, we've been talking about how Seth Rollins, how he's been kind of like distracted with the whole The Rock and the whole bloodline stuff. Kind of seems like the tables have turned here on Drew. It seems like he's kind of distracted with old DM Hunk.
Yeah, I saw that shared. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, they're doing some fantastic storytelling when it comes to this. And with Rollins, he got, like you said, he got the upper hand during the end of this segment. And yeah, it does seem like the tides are turning because he's been mentioning this whole time that, yeah, like you said, Rollins is distracted by Bloodline. He's preoccupied with this, but McIntyre has been a lot of his stuff has now been focused on Punk. So
Hmm.
yeah, just some fantastic storytelling with this. I can't wait to see what they do for next week, the Raw before WrestleMania.
Yeah, and CM Punk and Seth Rollins and Drew McIntyre are all scheduled to appear, so I would think that they'll have one more little segment before WrestleMania. And dude, I'm just gonna say this now. When it comes to predictions, I know I got a week to think about this, but like at this moment right now, if we were doing them right now, I wouldn't know who to pick in that match, if I'm being honest. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, we'll save that for our predictions video. But yeah, I know I do have a I don't think it's that hard. I have a pretty solid pick. But
I don't
we'll
know,
we'll
dude. I
save
mean,
that for that video.
yeah, yeah. So after that, I guess we can get into a segment that finally, finally, in my opinion, we got some pretty decent build for this match, and it was Rhea Ripley and Becky Lynch. So it wasn't no, yeah, Becky didn't have a match. It was just a straight one-on-one promo, and then Becky just talks about how she's had all these matches, saying how Rhea doesn't want to compete anymore, blah blah blah. So then Rhea just kind of starts saying that, after WrestleMania, when I beat you, your daughter is going to be calling me mommy. And then that really struck a nerve in Becky Lynch, and she really gets really emotional after that. She starts talking about how her dad has never met her daughter because I think he passed away, and then says that this will be your one. I'll give you this one pass to ever mention my daughter, and then that's pretty much it. They had a stare down. Rhea starts to walk away. I think Dom starts kind of like talking to Becky, and then Becky just absolutely
Yeah,
nails
that's the
Dom.
biggest. This promo was whatever. Like I don't even really remember much from this, but that was so Dominic he like turned the other way,
Yeah,
and Becky just nailed him, and they showed it later in like a slow down. Like they've been
yeah,
doing
they
these
did like
things
the
recently
uh
where
the
like
telestrator.
where Pat McAfee, basically they do a slow motion event thing for whatever it is they're focusing on, and they kind of do the what are they called? You said the football things where they do all
Yeah,
the
they kind of like just draw
annotations
on the
on the
yeah, they
screen
draw
and
over the
circle.
screen.
Yeah, and they did that for this, and Pat McAfee, the goofy like commentating aside, she nailed him. Like, yeah, he took that like a champ.
Yeah. Yeah, he did, and that would lead to a huge brawl between Nia and Becky, which I think this is exactly what this feud needed. Because if it wasn't for that, I'd be saying right now that I mean I'm really not that hyped. I mean, I it built a little bit of hype for me, but I mean the build for me just hasn't been there. So hopefully the match can deliver, which I think it will. But yeah. I
Yeah,
mean, it,
yeah.
it it built a little bit of hype for me, but I mean, that's pretty much, yeah,
It's been okay. Yeah, I still have the same thoughts I do last week. I don't think it's been very unique compared to the other storylines that are going into this WrestleMania,
yeah,
but
yeah,
it
because
still has the potential to be a good match. It all depends on how the WrestleMania match ends up being.
yeah, but I will say that I'm more hyped for Bailey and Io than I am for this woman's title match for sure.
Yeah, yeah, I would agree for sure.
So I guess we can get to the next segment, and Bronson Reed, he defeated Sami Zayn, which I thought was he beat him clean too. So
Yeah, no,
obviously,
I mean, they did, if I'm not mistaken, I think, was it Gunther? Somebody, yeah, Gunther came out and he still like was on the entrance ramp. So I
oh,
guess
okay. I guess I
it
missed that.
maybe it wasn't the. All I know is that some sort of Zane. The basically it was that he was distracted, like somebody was watching him, and so but he still lost clean. Like there wasn't any physical interference or nobody ran down to the ring or anything like that. Um, But basically, before and after this, he was having these backstage segments with Chad Gable, and he's just like trying to give him motivation. And Sami Zayn's starting to, I guess, like doubt himself is what the story they're trying to tell going into this. He's starting to doubt if he is even starting to doubt if he can beat Gunther at WrestleMania. And
Hmm.
with these backstage segments, they're just adding on to that. Gable's basically saying, what was he saying? Like after, so it was first of all, it was a pretty good match, but
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, it
Bronson
was.
Reed won clean. And Zayn was frustrated backstage, and Gable is basically saying that like he doesn't have the key, and he needs to what was he saying? Like he doesn't have the key to beat Gunther, and he needs to like learn it from Gable. And it's I was saying the entire time we were watching this, Gable lost, so he how does he have the key?
Yeah, yeah, I don't know what exactly they're doing
He
here
should have
with
used the
the
key in his match against Gunther then, right? In his
Yeah,
two
I guess so,
matches.
yeah. I mean, yeah, I guess so.
I get it though. I guess he has the experience to maybe I don't know, the experience to say what he did wrong during those matches, I
Hmm.
guess. But
Yeah,
I don't know. I still feel like that's a stretch. I feel like they could have maybe done that a different way, still involved Gable, but not like yeah, like I said, he didn't beat him. I mean, he beat him in a count out. I guess there's that. But
yeah.
if he beats him in a count out, he's not going to win the title. So
Yeah, I don't know what they're doing with this. Like, I guess they're just gonna make Chad Gable like Sami Zayn's coach. It kind of reminds me of like the what's those movies, those boxing movies, Rocky.
Rocky,
Yeah, and I guess like Chad Gable's supposed to be like Adonis Creed or something, or
yeah,
vice versa, whatever. I haven't seen those movies, so but
I haven't either. But I
I've
know what you're
seen,
talking about.
yeah, I've
Yeah.
seen a lot of people on social media like comparing this story to like the Rocky movies and all that other stuff. So
Yeah, and
yeah,
it's with this segment. I mean, like I said, I love Sami Zayn. I'm glad he got this opportunity, but they definitely are eh, piecing this together. It seems to be on a week by week type of basis. So it's not the storyline is. I think there's more to be desired when it comes to this, but
hmm,
it's not. They've at least been working with what they've had with this. Zayn has won the match, so he's gonna face Gunther at WrestleMania, and they're just trying to make the storytelling from that match that's already confirmed. So I feel like it's okay. It's okay.
yeah, it's not too bad, but I mean,
And
I'm
Zayn
looking.
always with these segments, he's always you can always hear the
Man, he's
passion
so
behind it.
passionate. Yeah,
Yes,
dude.
for
Man,
sure.
I mean, I've said this before. I wanted Chad Gable in this match, but dude, Sami Zayn, when he gets in that passionate mindset, and when you give him that, just this content or whatever, the script, where he has to be super passionate, man, he just hits on all cylinders when it comes to that stuff.
Yeah,
He's
Zayn always is fantastic with that. And Gable, like I said last week, I really, especially since Gable lost this match, a lot of times in the past when something like this happens, with just they slip off, they lose this match, they just end up like putting them back in like in past WWE like 2, 3 years ago, I think they would have done Gable lost this match, and then next week he's just paired up again with Alpha Academy doing some segment to make them forget about this. He got
Yeah.
demoted, so they moved him on. But now
Hmm.
since they're continuing them in these backstage segments and he's still involved with the Intercontinental title picture, maybe not directly, but he's still in these backstage segments. I really don't think this is going to be the end. I think they're going to put him in a match after WrestleMania. So
Yeah, yeah.
all hope is
That's
not
what I'm
lost for
thinking. No, it's
Gable.
not. Yeah.
Yeah, I think
I
there's
mean,
still definite potential. Not at
I hope they do
WrestleMania,
that.
but
Yeah, not at WrestleMania, but maybe Backlash or
there's still hope
maybe
for sure.
yeah. I hope yeah, for sure. Chad Gable for IC champion. Just gonna say that.
I mean, I love Sami Zayn, like I said, but I don't think
Yeah.
he's. I mean, we'll say that for the predictions, but I don't think he's going to win. And so, but Gable, I love seeing him as Intercontinental Champion. I agree with
Dude,
that.
he needs it. He deserves it so
Yep.
bad.
I mean,
He
I agree. I love to see him as Intercontinental Champion.
hmm Yeah, so that pretty much does it for the s- absolute banger of an episode that Raw put on this week.
Yeah,
So,
and that was most of this Raw. It was basically the entire there.
I mean,
So
all 3 hours, dude, just had
yeah,
something.
so
I mean,
we'll
you had,
still cover. We have a few things from SmackDown, but SmackDown was just it wasn't bad, but it was nothing in comparison to Raw,
yeah, no,
which is weird because past few years it's been the exact opposite. Raw has usually
yeah,
been the skip boring, and SmackDown has been the must see show. But I
hmm
don't know. This week it was definitely not like that.
yeah, but I mean, I will say though, they didn't have Roman or Rock on SmackDown this week, and they still had a sold out crowd. It was their sixth consecutive sellout for SmackDown. There's only like 6,000 fans there, but it was a smaller venue. But still, I mean,
6,000. I don't know. It's above a. I don't know. We'll stay away from that. But there's
I know, yeah, I know
at
exactly
least
where you're going with
2,000.
that.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. But they've been doing sellouts. It seems like it's probably not every single week, but it seemed like, geez, man, it seems like every single week
Ever ever
we've been
since
hearing
ever since
sellout,
that
sellout.
SmackDown, it so this is their sixth consecutive SmackDown sellout, and I think this dates back to that SmackDown back in Birmingham that I went to when The Rock first
Yeah,
showed up. I think yeah, they've had a sellout crowd since that moment. I
that's
mean,
just SmackDown. We're not like
yeah.
overall shows. Oh, dude, Raw with sellouts. I wonder how long they've been doing it. It
I
seems
think
like
there was at least one episode that they didn't have a complete sellout, but I mean, still, there was like maybe like just a
yeah,
few, like 50 tickets left, but still, I mean, business is booming.
yeah, it really is
Another
right now.
company can't relate.
Yeah,
Let me stop.
we
Let me
send in
stop.
shots,
Yeah,
indirect shots.
yeah, let me stop. I don't want to piss anybody off. Oh well.
But
Uh,
so for SmackDown, there wasn't like I said, there wasn't that many crazy individual segments, but most of SmackDown was basically just building up to WrestleMania matches that were already confirmed. But off of this week, we do have a few big things for WrestleMania. And
hmm
I think the biggest thing is that now the WrestleMania tag team ladder match is officially set with all six tag teams confirmed. And that is going to be Judgment Day, New Catch Republic, DIY, Awesome Truth,
What?
and Theory and Waller. I was really surprised by that one. They face
hmm
Street Profits tonight, and I said it last week that I definitely thought Street Profits were going to win this match, but
See,
no,
I didn't think
Theory
they
and Waller.
were. I didn't think they were. I knew that, AOP or Final Testament or whatever, I
They're
knew they were going to get in.
preoccupied. Yeah,
Yeah, I knew they were going to get involved in that match. So I kind of just went ahead and penciled in, yeah, Theory and Waller are going to Mania, which
but good for
I,
them.
yeah,
They
dude.
needed that win. They've been
hmm
taking a lot of losses lately.
And I think they'll do good in this type of matchup. I think.
And I still think there's potential for this to be some sort of. I've seen a lot of people. I mean, obviously, with how it went at WrestleMania. Geez, I'm not good. I know the years, but not the numbers. I think it was 33, the roller coaster one.
Mm-hmm.
where at the end, they were like, oh, there's an additional tag team, so they could
Oh
still do some
yeah.
sort of surprise return. But yeah, as of now, the official names for the six-person tag ladder match officially set, and I think this can be a this could possibly be the match of the night if
Match of the weekend.
yeah, it really could be.
And I mean, I already know who I want to win. I actually have. I'll get to that when we get there.
Yeah, we'll save those. We'll save all of these.
Oh, dude, I'm just like so antsy just to like. Oh yeah, yeah. I
Yes.
want these guys to win.
Yeah. We'll save
Uh,
it though for predictions. Yeah, there's a
yeah,
lot of
next
them like
weekend.
that.
Next weekend
Hmm.
we'll have that.
And we'll be in person. Yep.
Yes, yeah, we will. We're going to the same roof. Wrasslin City boys.
Yes, sir.
God, I can't wait, man.
So we have two more matches too that were confirmed on SmackDown this week, and that was Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee versus Dominic Mysterio and Santos Escobar. So I've loved Santos Escobar work as of
Mm-hmm.
lately. He's a
Yeah,
pretty
me
good
too.
heel. And so Dominic and Ray, they're continuing their feud once again. So that makes sense. I think that's a great addition to it. Obviously, not that huge of a match in and of itself, but there's another addition to it. It's going to be a long night, so they
Yeah,
need
I
to
just
finish out the card.
I just love how like Dom had like nothing to do with this like story for like so many months, and just because he hates his father so much, he was just
Yeah.
like, yeah, put me in this match.
Yeah, so I mean, it'll be an okay match. I mean, we'll see, we'll see.
Yeah,
But
because
the
for
other
like
match,
I
what
or
you
once
saying? What?
like for weeks, I thought they were just gonna do like a regular like LWO versus Legado del
You
Fantasma
would
like
think so.
multi-man
Yeah,
tag team match, but no, they're just doing two from each team, and they actually announced tonight that Dragon Lee, he's Mysterio's partner, so he's like the newest member of LWO. And when Rey Mysterio, he was saying that, yeah, like how about Santos and Dom? How about you fight me and a partner of my choosing? And during that segment, they were showing Carlito a lot in the camera, so I really
yeah,
thought he was going to pick Carlito. I really wish he would have. I like to see Carlito in this match.
yeah.
He
I have
hasn't.
some thoughts on that too. We will
Yeah.
save that for the. I think we should save that for the predictions. But
Oh yeah.
yes,
Yeah. I think I know where you're going with that.
yes.
Yeah. I know where you're going with that. So
So
yeah.
this match was confirmed, and then there was also in the main event. I guess you can talk more about this, but Jade Cargill ended up basically having her big she is officially now has we know what she's going to be doing at WrestleMania, and it is Jade, Bianca Belair, and Naomi versus Damage Control. Now not Bailey, but the Kabuki
Not
Warriors
EO.
and
You're not
Dakota Kai.
EO. Yeah. Good. Yeah. Man, about time we've gotten some more Jade Cargill. I mean, and we'll actually get to see her in the ring, and not in like a. I mean, last time she was in the ring, it was Royal Rumble. So
Hmm.
we'll get to see what she's made of. I mean, her promo, she cut a promo earlier in the night, and I mean, it was okay. I mean, not much. I think the whole promo was like not even a minute long. I think it was like just under a minute. She just said that she's here, talked about how WWE has the best women's roster in the world. I think she was kind of taking some shots there.
Yeah, I did not see this segment, but I did
You
see
pretty
that
much
she
just,
had a really good entrance.
dude, oh my gosh,
Their
man.
book and her entrance looks really
Dude,
good.
yes. I mean, what a presentation. I mean, off the bat, she looks like a star. Oh my gosh. I mean, that's one of the best entrances right now. And I'm just going to say,
Along with The Rock, yeah. I
I
think that
mean, dude, I mean, because
I
it's
mean
like
she
they
has
had this one
potential.
little, because they had this like little spotlight, and there's like these like I don't know what it is like. I think her like catchphrase is like a storm is coming, so it kind of looks like it's raining. And it's like this one little spotlight, And next thing you know, they just show her in the spotlight, and she just does her pose, and man, it was perfect. I mean, it was awesome.
And for these
Great way for her
actresses,
to.
yeah, they're putting her in position to, I think, have a bigger spot on in the women's, on this roster after WrestleMania. But I mean, for this, at least she has something. I'm glad that they've
Hmm.
at least given her a match.
Yeah, because for a while I thought this was gonna like they were gonna just save her for like the SmackDown or something after WrestleMania. Once all their
Yeah, I
feuds
thought
that were
too.
going into Mania were out of the way, they could throw her into something. But no, they're throwing her right into WrestleMania.
Which is cool. I mean, I think that they
Yeah,
definitely, I mean,
I'm happy
obviously,
for her.
I do. No, I don't think it's going to be a very good match. I'm going to be honest. I mean, just because it doesn't have much storyline behind it. I mean, you can only
Well,
do so much in like a
you've got
week.
like, Bianca. She's been saying for like the past few weeks that like damage control's made her life a living hell for the past 2 years. I mean, there's a
Yeah,
story
yeah,
there,
but what
and then
basically what I'm saying is with all of this other stuff that's going on in comparison, this I mean doesn't have much going on behind it. I guess it does have that, but I think it's just going to be, well, let me save that for the predictions, because I was just about to say something completely different. But
uh,
yes, I think that I'm glad that she at least does have a match. I think this will be a good match to showcase her and at least put her back into the mix. I think
mhm.
it's better than just throwing her back into the main event right after WrestleMania.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah, so after after that, you've had some more. Well, actually, Pretty Deadly ended up defeating Orton and Owens thanks to Logan Paul. He came out from underneath the ring and he hit Owens with the brass knuckles. That allowed one of the Pretty Deadly members to run into the ring and pin Owens, and then Orton, he walks up to Owens like, "What the like? How the hell did you lose to them? Blah blah blah." And then they show the replay on the screen, and then Orton sees it, and he's like looking around, like okay, where's Owens? Where's Logan Paul now? He walks out. He walks out to the ringside, lifts up the apron, and Logan's just laying there under the apron. He's like, "Oh no, he found me!" And then excuse me, he pulls Owens, he pulls Logan Paul out from underneath the ring, starts beating on him some more, and then finally Logan Paul gets away. Orton and Owens start chasing him to the backstage area, and then Logan Paul just pretty much just jumps into somebody's car and just drives off.
Yeah, I mean this. Well, first, pretty deadly. I'm not completely behind. I don't really find them. They're just
Yeah,
they're
yeah, I don't.
Breezango from like Wish.com. I don't
Hmm.
think they're very. I don't know. I don't know, but I haven't seen much of their work. So maybe they could prove me
They're
wrong.
not bad
Maybe
in
in
the
a few
ring.
months
I will
I'll be
say
like,
that, but
damn, yeah.
yeah.
Maybe that once their booking gets they once they have more to work with, maybe it'll change. But as of right
Hmm.
now, it's just it's okay. I mean, they just
I was
defeated
gonna,
him, like you said, just because of Logan Paul.
I was gonna say, excuse me, I was gonna say something, but that would kind of, go ahead and just jump right into my
Yeah,
prediction.
we have a
So
lot
I
to
get,
add to that predictions
oh
video.
yeah. So yeah, but we got some more build for LA Knight and AJ Styles. AJ Styles, I think he was just cutting a promo, and then AJ Styles was, I mean, LA Knight. I get my names mixed up. LA Knight was dressed up as like a cameraman or something, and he just attacks AJ Styles. Building some more hype for that match, which I think is going to be a fantastic match. I think these two will work well together. And I don't know if you saw, but apparently AJ Styles is debuting a new theme song at
Yes, I did
WrestleMania.
see that. Yep. Now,
I'm
I'm a
hoping
little
it's good.
concerned
Yeah,
because
yeah,
what's her name? Def Rebel.
yeah.
They are like notoriously terrible with theme songs because with all of the like the EO Skies. What else? Did they make Rollins song, I
Yeah,
think?
they made Rollins' theme song. They made Roman Reigns' theme song.
Yeah, they have some bangers, but
Yeah,
with every banger like that they make 10 of them, 100 of them that are terrible. So I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully they treat him right. Styles, but if there's anybody that's likely to have for them to actually put some effort into making a good theme for, I can imagine Styles being one of those people. So
yeah,
hopefully
and
they don't do him dirty.
you would think they would, him and
You
like
would
Def
think.
Rebel, you would think
Yep.
him and Def Rebel would like get together and find something that AJ Styles actually likes, and
Now,
so
obviously, this is just going to be you know, Mark's wet dream, but everybody was saying, "Oh, what if it was his TNA theme? Oh my
oh
God, dude. I am. Dude, the
oh yeah.
crowd would be going crazy at WrestleMania. But
I like
obviously,
yeah,
I don't
I
think it's going
love
to
that theme
happen. But
song, and
what if?
I think I think he's had a couple like I think it's his TNA or his New Japan, which I like both of those a lot. I mean, his theme song now isn't bad,
I don't remember
but
his. I didn't really. I mean, I knew him and New Japan and whatnot, but I don't remember his song during that time period.
yeah, I
I
think
just
it's
remember his TNA thing.
oh yeah, because I think his in New Japan was just like a instrumental. I think it was called like Demigod or something, but
Yeah, I don't know one.
it was
But
still a
yeah,
banger.
hopefully it's a good thing.
I'm praying that it is because Def Rebel does not have a good track record for making good theme
Yeah, no,
songs,
they
but
don't. So that just about covers it when it comes to SmackDown.
yeah.
But so confirmed for next week, there wasn't much, but the one big thing is I assume is going to be next week's main event is Solo Sikoa versus Jay Uso.
Wonder
Um,
what's going to happen there.
yeah, yeah. I mean, Solo really they use this. I mean, remember that he's a dude that he decimated John Cena,
Yeah,
and now you
he just
literally
had.
and not even like oh he never wins. He literally has never won a match since this match against Cena.
He's like
Not
what
a single one.
0 and 34, I think is
Yeah,
what it is now.
no live event, no televised match. He has not picked up a win since then. So obviously Jey Uso is gonna win this match, but it's
I don't
still gonna
know.
be.
I wonder what Triple H's problem is with after he has somebody
I
beat
think
John
they're just
Cena. They're
losing
just
like confidence in him. I don't know, but he's so young. There's so much time for this to change. But
hmm
we're talking about all this stuff with going on with the bloodline. I really think that this is so. There's Jay and Jimmy. Uh, Jimmy versus Roman. Has that happened? Jimmy and
I
Roman?
don't think so. No.
No, not yet. Obviously, Jay and Roman has happened. Um, Roman and Solo hasn't happened yet, but basically my point is this is one of the big crosses between. I mean, I don't think we've seen Jay and Solo yet, have we? So
I don't think so.
them adding this
I
as a
think we
final
did
match.
before. I think we saw them on that SmackDown before SummerSlam, but I may be wrong.
Okay, well, yeah, still them having this as a final on the final SmackDown before WrestleMania, I think is very symbolic of
hmm
the entire storyline that's been going on for the past 2 years. And I think that this is a great way to, even though we know what's going to happen, it's going to add some more to the storytelling, even more.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
I look forward
I
to it. I think it could
Yeah,
be
I
a
do
good
too.
match, but we don't know
hmm
what's going to happen.
Yeah, I actually won't be able to catch SmackDown because I'll actually be.
unless unless Jimmy comes out and like it distracts him, and then Solo picks up the win.
No, no, they wouldn't do that. No, no,
I
they
don't
would.
know.
I don't think they'd do that. No, no, they wouldn't do that.
They wouldn't, would they?
No, no, never.
So
Not in a million years. No,
WWE wouldn't do that.
no.
The one thing
Triple
with
H wouldn't.
WWE is don't ever say they won't do that. Anything's possible. I guess we'll
Mm,
see though. But yeah.
yeah. Yeah, I probably won't even get to catch SmackDown because I think during that time I'll be heading up to heading up to your place to.
Yeah, SmackDown's going to be, I think we've already decided though that for crazy saying that for next week's episode, what we are going to do is we are going to kind of just instead of doing what we do now and covering most of the stuff that happened from Raw and SmackDown, we will just go to the predictions and we will kind of cover what happened while talking about each individual match for WrestleMania. I
Hmm.
think that makes sense because we don't really need to make two episodes, you know what I mean? So
Hmm.
yeah, we won't be able to watch. I obviously will be working, so I won't be able to watch either. But, we will still obviously see the results and whatnot, see all the ups and downs, what happened during it. And we will let you guys know that when we make our next podcast episode for our WrestleMania predictions. I can't believe it's already happening.
Oh my gosh, dude. And then, I mean, it's crazy because I mean, we started this podcast like
A
days
few
before
weeks
the war.
before
Our
the
first
Rumble.
ever
Yep.
podcast was our Royal Rumble predictions, and
Yeah.
here we are and get ready to do our WrestleMania predictions. And dude, that's back in January. And
Yep.
it's
Our
crazy
next
how.
episode's going to be in person, so we will have a bit of a different layout for this one.
Hmm.
But yeah, yeah, it's going to be great.
I cannot wait, dude. I look forward to seeing you next week, man. It's gonna be a blast. Let's get it, dude.
Yeah, yeah, man. I'm
Let's
excited for this
get it.
WrestleMania season. It's finally coming to its peak. We're
Oh, I'm getting
we're
chills
ready.
just thinking about it, man. Mm.
WrestleMania time. Yeah.
All right, that pretty much does it for this episode. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't yet. Come join the greatest city in the world, Wrasslin City. Make sure to hit that like button. Make sure to share with all your friends. Let them know. Come join this beautiful city that we're building here in Wrasslin City. And make sure to hit that bell too so you don't miss a video. We actually got a lot of stuff planned for WrestleMania weekend. Next week, we're actually going to be doing some reaction videos for both night's main event. So we'll be doing a reaction video to the night one main event, the tag team match, and then we'll be doing a reaction video for the night two main event. So make sure you hit that bell so you get notified so you don't miss those videos. And we'll see you guys next week on the Wrasslin City Podcast. Peace.